When you look into my eyes, you understand what I'm saying. Let me say it to you slowly, and it may sound scandalous. I don't think that you can handle this.
Once again, we are on. He is the great Mike Steph. I am the Mojo King. This is Hidden Gems Football Week 2, Year 4, brought to you by the 19 Media Group. Mike Steph, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I got a new addition to my background, a jet flag. So I'm literally flying the jet flag, and that's going to be here all season long. I'm debuting the newest jersey to my collection. Yes, the Black 5, matches the black hat, and black is actually apropos because I should be in mourning based on the season opening loss to my Jets, but I'm not. I'm proud of my team. I was actually in attendance this week for the season opening game, the home opener. That stadium was rocking. Even though with the loss, it was a great game. It was a great experience. We had a great time tailgating beforehand, tailgating afterward. It was a very great experience. I'm still a little hype over it. If my voice sounds crazy, it's because I'm going hoarse because that's how much I was screaming and yelling and had a great time. So that's my long-winded way of saying I'm okay.
I'm glad to hear you're okay even after taking the L. I gotta say, you did look like the best football team in New York, though.
Oh yes, by a long shot. I'm not slandering the Giants, but at the same time, as I said in this week's episode of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast, available on the YouTube channel of Mike Steph, the Giants cost me money. Number one, and number two, they cost me my reputation because I had them pegged as an underdog winner last week. When this man was talking about, I don't know what you're talking about, but guess what? Usually I'm not the one that collects numbers, but this week, and I'm not going to say anything until the end of the podcast, the end of this recording, about our collective record against the spread. Well, actually, our individual record against the spread. Yeah. As you can tell by me talking so long, you can tell where I stand, and by his silence, you can tell where he stands. But besides that, yeah, we did look like the best team in New York. Now, if we can only get our own stadium, which will never happen.
I think I'm just going to move along. Mostly because I don't want to talk about last week. We're on to week 2. Mike Steph, I believe you have one big thing.
I'm talking about comments made after the game by Aaron Rodgers when he was asked whether or not he took some type of glee in beating the Jets. And first he was like, no, I take satisfaction in beating everybody. Which, okay, as a competitor, you're supposed to say that. But when he said, I took satisfaction in beating everybody involved in the New York Jets organization, do we expect anything different from Aaron Rodgers? Listen, the one thing I'll give him credit for, no matter what uniform he has on, no matter what situation, Aaron Rodgers is going to be Aaron Rodgers. He's not going to put on airs for anybody. He's not going to change his stripes at such a late age. What you see is what you get. We was in bed with him for 2 years, and now we have fleas. Now we're in the process of getting the fleas off us. That's Pittsburgh's problem. All right, y'all enjoy your victory. You black and yellow people. But that's your problem, because when he breaks down, when it starts getting cold at the end of October, November, and he can't get in out that pocket, best believe he won't be able to get out that pocket, because same problems we saw last year, same problems I saw this year in person. Couldn't get out the pocket. He got sacked 3 or 4 times, but that's not the subject of my big thing. Like I said, it was his comment, and also the narrative by the media, because coming off his Achilles injury, everybody was like, Aaron Rodgers is finished. Aaron Rodgers is washed. Aaron Rodgers is thinking should give it up. Aaron Rodgers become more trouble than he's worth. So now he goes to one of the beloved teams in the NFL, and now it's, he was back to being vintage Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers had not lost a step. Aaron Rodgers brought back some of that old magic. Listen, the worst thing that happened to me this weekend is Aaron Rodgers' fault, and this is it. Aaron Rodgers caused my grandchildren. He was a big part of my grandchildren throwing dirt on my team and actually having glee in seeing Pop upset. They called me immediately after the game to see, oh, Pop team lost. Yeah. Keyshawn team won, which is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm like, wow. First, I blamed it on him for turning my grandchildren against me. But no, it was it was on them to say, you know what? I'm calling Pop 5 minutes after the game to see his despair in my Jets losing. And that's Aaron Rodgers' fault. Because if Aaron Rodgers would just played his position and retired like he was supposed to, then we wouldn't have had this problem. But like I said, at the end of the day, the big thing is I want this media to keep that same energy. When he starts stinking it up, which he will, when he starts stinking it up and start causing problems on the Pittsburgh Steelers team, keep the same energy you had the last 2 years when he was in Gotham. He's not back. He's not vintage. And that's, my friends, is Mike Steph. One big thing. Yeah!
What's up? I'm Desmond, and I'm the host and creator of Hip to the Games, a podcast from 19 Media Group. From hot topics across the NBA, how can you say we done with the 80s or we done with the 90s, yet that's who we learned from? To album reviews and song breakdowns and everything in between, I take immense pride in genuinely appreciating the brilliance of basketball and hip-hop's past and present. If you too love the game of basketball and the game of rap, that means you're hip to the games. But no matter where you fall on that spectrum, I'm sure you'll find your place in the H2DG family, and I encourage you to join the fun. He has a little more knuck if you buck, if you will. Every other Friday on your favorite podcast platform or YouTube, courtesy of the home team, 19 Media Group.
Let's move over to Thursday Night Football. We have the Washington Commanders, who are 1-0, heading to Green Bay to face the 1-0 Packers. The projected total is 48.5 points, while the Packers are 3.5-point favorites. That means Vegas is telling us that they predict that the Washington Commanders will score 22.5, while the Packers score 26. But we're recording a little bit early, so injuries, you might need to check in a little bit closer to game time to find out exactly what's going on. But as far as right now, the major injury we have is Austin Eckler, the running back for Commanders. He has a shoulder injury. He may or may not play. On Green Bay's side, wide receivers Jayden Reed, Datavion Wicks, and Matthew Golden are all questionable, but they all played last week through their questions. I think Jayden Reed is the most interesting because he actually has a foot fracture. But again, he played through it in week 1. Mike Steph, what do you think about this game? Who you got?
Okay, well, I'll start on the Commanders first. The Commanders started off the season this past Sunday with a 21-6 victory over the New York Giants. The G-Men! Jayden Daniels was an efficient 19 for 30, 233 yards with 1 touchdown, and he also ran for 68 yards on 11 carries. Now, new acquisition, Deebo Samuel, lived up to his reputation with a good debut, 7 catches for 77 yards, so he was 777s all the way. But it was the defensive effort that was the story, to be honest. You know, they held the Giants to 231 yards total offense, and the Commanders held the New York Giants to 3 points total on 2 trips inside the 5-yard line. The quote from Dan Quinn of Washington Commanders: "We didn't create the takeaways today, but man, seeing some of those plays down inside the 10-yard line in the red zone, the guys work hard at that." Remember, Dan Quinn is a defensive coach. Last year, the defense was okay, but sometimes it takes a year for the defensive identity to really shine through. And if anything, we don't know whether it was the improvement on the defensive side of Washington that showed through, or the Giants was just that bad. Maybe a combination of both. But speaking about defense, we're going to talk about the Green Bay Packers. Packers put the beats to the Lions at home in the debut of their newest acquisition, Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons got his first sack as a Packer with just over 4 minutes left in the game, but he also applied pressure that led to an Evans-Williams second quarter interception. People forget that last year, the Packers were number 5 in the league in defense, and they just added Micah Parsons. So anything that he gives them on a positive, and if they stay on the same level as they did last year, listen, that defense is going to be a problem. Now, here's a little stat for you. They also equaled their total of wins in the division with 1, because they were 1-5 last year in the division, yet they got into the playoffs. Go figure. Now, another key stat, the Packers won their 13th consecutive home opener, the longest such streak since the Miami Dolphins did it between 1976, the year in which yours truly was born, in 1988, which 88, time to set it straight, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no half stepping. Word. So with all that being said, because I got some pressure on me. Packers favored by 3.5 over the Washington Commanders on a short week at home. I'm going to go Packers minus the 3.5. The over-under, a lot of games that I thought were going to be under, they soared above. But I'll go under. Packers minus 3.5, over, under.
Like you pointed out, both teams looked pretty dominant in their games. With Washington, it was against the Giants. Green Bay, it was against the Lions. So I'm a little bit more convinced by the Packers win. They're at home. I am going to lean Packers minus the 3.5 with you. And I'm going to take the under as well. I expect this to be a hard-fought game. Both defenses really showed out in week 1. This is a true test for Washington, the first true test. And for Green Bay, I am a little bit worried that they will be a little bit coming down off of a high. But like I said, I'm rolling with the Packers. I do want to point out that if Austin Eckler does not play, obviously Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt will get a little bit more run. He had 82 yards last week on only 10 carries. But more importantly, my favorite player, Jeremy McNichols, will be on the field a little bit more. Go, Jeremy.
This is a 19 Media Group presentation.
Shout out to Keaton, Keith, Debbie, Keelane, the whole Hollywood, whole 9.
Hi.
How you doing?
He said, how you doing? Like Wendy Williams.
No, I didn't say how you doing.
How you doing?
JB, can't forget JB. You take my self-control. You losing all, and that you'll never know. I swear. It was like, in the night, nothing matters. In the day, nothing matters.
All right, I tell you, I will give you a warning. We're officially recording, so anything you say can and may be used in the podcast. Not that, though. Not that.
Everybody's waiting for the weekend. Everybody's looking for a little romance. Oh, you want a piece of my heart? You got it front from the start. You want a piece of the go? And come on, baby, let's go. Don't remember that either, right?
I don't want to remember that.